Alright, just got back from a couple of days of camping. We are doing a coffee run so that I can get to finishing those charcuterie boards in the video you're about to see. However, this video won't have the finished project because it is taking way longer than I expected to, and I just got to get you something. So here is pretty much everything but finishing the charcuterie boards. And then in the next one, we will actually finish them. Fingers crossed. Well, it wouldn't be a proper project day if we didn't have to run to the hardware store to go pick something up that we are missing. What are we running to get?
Fuel for our chainsaw.
What is it?
Fuel and oil mixture.
Alright, there you have it. 50 to 1. Fuel to whatever.
Oil mixture.
That stuff.
You heard the noise that it's making.
I always forget when we come to the hardware store, we're gonna get sidetracked because it's basically Toys R Us for a grown adult. Waiting for sound. Waiting for sound. Waiting for sound. I actually wonder if you could even hear me with our well pump going, but we have the 3 little disc slices from that pine log that we just cut, and that is what I'm going to use to make a charcuterie board. Huh?
You can do some out of these other ones too if you want.
Out of the other ones?
This one's got more like an oval shape.
Oh, that's cool. Alright, I stand corrected. Apparently those little discs are called cookies. So we have our log cookies cut. Okay, we have the alleged log cookies cut, and they are ready for planing. By the way, leave a comment below. Let us know what they're actually called.
Slices. Tree slices.
Log slices. But anyway, we have the 6 cookies cut, and I'm gonna plane them and then sand them and get them ready for epoxy. Well, hello there. I have to be honest, tonight I am not feeling it, but my goal is a little bit of progress every day, so I am still going to take those charcuterie boards and at least sand each one with 60 grit. That's all I'm going to do. Just a little bit of progress every day. You'd be surprised how it builds up though. All right, let's get started. Welcome back. Today we are gonna keep sanding these charcuterie boards. Wish I had something more exciting for you, but just more sanding, sanding, sanding. But anyway, we're gonna get through, we did 60 grit already, and then we're gonna do 80, 100, I don't think I have 120, so then 150, 180, and I'm gonna stop there, and then clean them up, and these will be ready for epoxy. I just had to stop a second and show you what I just saw. Sid the Sloth. All right, that's enough wasting time. Back to it. All right, I don't know if you noticed in the last video, I was having a little bit of trouble with my back. I'm almost 40, what are you gonna do? Anyway, I found a old kind of vegetable crate, and that raised it up just enough. So now I think I can get through it. So I'm on grit 100 now. All right, so all the sanding is done. I've just got the disc slab cookie things hanging out on a table. I'm gonna take a break though and go meet a friend of mine for lunch with my daughter. We'll see you back at the garage. Okay. Oh yeah, sound to catch up, sound to catch up, sound to catch up, sound to catch up. So I've decided to switch it up. My original plan was just to do some epoxy in the cracks, which is still gonna look really cool. But I have decided, at least for this one, I'm gonna stain it. I just got this stuff color wash. I've never used it before, so we'll try it out. And I think I'm gonna do a blackish stain and then dark red epoxy on the inside. So we'll just see. Not sure what I'm gonna do with the rest though, but you know, I'm gonna show you as we go. Sid the Sloth. All right, we have been letting this dry out in the sun. This is the back part of it. It's clearly a lot darker. And then I went a little bit lighter on the top part, and I am really excited to see what that red epoxy does in here. If you haven't noticed, I always paste the front when I realize I've messed up or I'm putting off what I need to be doing. In today's case, I messed up again. So that really cool dark wash that I put on that piece, well, I'm about to add epoxy to it. And then after the epoxy dries, I have got to sand down the excess epoxy. And what that means is I am going to take all that stain right off. All right, well, like I said in the last video, learn from my mistakes, and that's why I'm making them, and that's why I'm sharing them. I'm still brand new to all this, so. All right, now I'm gonna start taping up the bottom of each one of those slabs. That keeps the epoxy in when you start filling in the cracks. And then after that, we will be adding epoxy.
It was probably a doof. No, you can see it. It went. They did one of these things. You see, he hit it so hard that when it ripped that axle out from underneath.
Music man. Hi there. Today I'm going to tell you what I learned last night. So well, you did see the epoxy project, because when I edit this, the epoxy project will be before this part right here. So I just thought all I needed to do was tape up the little cracks, and that would be good enough to seal in the epoxy. And no, I had 3 blowouts. So learn from me, tape the whole thing up. It's just better insurance instead of having to clean up epoxy, which is not a fun thing to do. So I also learned what deep pour epoxy is and what can happen if you use your epoxy incorrectly. I just read about it. This didn't actually happen to me yet. Deep pour allows you to pour deeper or more. Epoxy, I guess, has a limit, and read your instructions because the bottles vary, but if you pour too much, it creates too much heat and it will crack or bubble your epoxy. And that's the other thing I noticed yesterday when I was picking up the piece to check underneath for another blowout. It felt hot. So epoxy, the chemical reaction creates some heat which can damage your product. But mine, I think, looks really good. I'm really excited to share the rest of them now that I've learned a little something, but I've got to go back, finish taping, and then we'll pour some more epoxy. I'll see you back at the garage. All right, so the hardener and the resin that I got just came from Hobby Lobby. I just read the instructions, and read the instructions on any kind you use. It is just equal parts, 1 to 1. However, it did say you mix 2 minutes in one container together, and then after that 2 minutes is up, pour it into a second, get another stirring stick, and then mix it for another full minute. That is when I'm going to add my mica powder, and then let's get pouring. All right, we have first resin pour done. I've got everything outside in the hot sun. I read something about depending on the temperature, it helps it cure a little bit faster. So for the first pour, and it's already sinking in pretty good, we have a blue, we have a gold, we have purple, and then this one will be a shimmery pink. I am really excited to see how this turns out because I have never done these colors before. And I've also never done a 2-stage pour, so hopefully this turns out better than my other projects as well. So we will see you in a few hours after it is cured. Okay, it's the next day. Just thought I would show you how this set up overnight. It hasn't been a full 24 hours, but it will be by the time I get off of work. I really actually think this one's gonna turn out really awesome. And there's the pink one, blue one looks good, purple one's awesome, and then the 2 red ones. Once again, I had to walk up front because everybody's listening to music and I don't need a copyright strike. So I am very excited to share with you the planing process. It's incredibly long, but it is going to turn these charcuterie boards into what I have been envisioning, and I think you're going to like them. Forward so we can, it's a good idea, love, thank you. All right, that'll work. We'll start off with the one that I like the least. That way it's not as risky.
I would probably figure out where your depth is first by planing something
No,
first.
I know. I actually start when it's not touching and then I just drop it a little bit at a time. The goal is just to lightly shave it off until I get to a spot where I can start hand sanding it. And the tops are already pretty well sanded nicely, so I just need to plane the epoxy, not this. So it's a work in progress, you know, but we'll get it done. Well, I have some bad news, guys. Broke the blade on my planer. So I guess that's all we have tonight. Nowhere near done, but my husband called my brother-in-law and he has one that we can borrow, so I guess I'm done tonight. We'll see you tomorrow or the next day, whenever we can get a hold of him. Also want to show you the mess I have to clean up. All of this wooden epoxy powder.